If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Travis with Midwest Bank, now with 2 branches conveniently serving Lincoln and 8 other locations across Nebraska. We're here to help you with any of your needs. From opening a checking account to buying a home or financing your business, our staff is here for you. Stop in and you might see Shin Daddy himself. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank, member FDIC.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop! Woohoo!
Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Attention students and anyone else looking for a great deal. Sun Valley Lanes and Games has the ultimate weeknight special. For just $15.95, enjoy unlimited bowling, lucky putt mini golf, and laser tag. Flash your college ID at check-in to receive $2 off your admission. It's the perfect way to unwind Sunday through Thursday nights. Check out sunvalleylanes.com for hours and availability. Sun Valley Lanes and Games, located at 321 Victory Lane.
Lincoln's best place to meet, eat, and compete. Sun Valley.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown! 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker and one more.
DeMornay Pierson-El.
Not only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome in to the Don't Punt Hour. Harrison Arms on the 1s and 2s. As always, we got the host of Morning Pierson-El streaming in. If you guys want to join in, use the Sartor Heyman text line 402-464-5685. We do got Royals on the brick and mortar as they continue their play in the postseason. Hopefully they can notch another win tonight. Otherwise, it's all over for the Royals, and they got to go home packing to KC. So again, if you want to join in, use the Sartor Heyman text line, use the streams, Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo, channel 961. And with that being said, let's bring him in here. Good morning, Pierson-El. How's it going?
It's going good, so it's a good bye week. Enjoying the off time.
Yeah, it's not as nerve-wracking. I'll say this much. I'm not as worked up. I'm excited. This is also just a great week. We talked about we watch college football. Like if you got a wedding this weekend, expect a lot of people not showing up. That's how good the slate is. It's one of those where there's going to be some people, if they do go to the wedding, they might leave early or just, like I said, might not show up at all and just send you a nice letter, which if you are one of those friends, just send a nice letter. Send something nice if you're going to go watch college football instead. But I want to do some picks here. I want to go NFL, and then I want to go college football, and I want to talk about some of these best games coming up. And today there is actually a good one because I'm unsure with the 49ers. We got the 2-3 San Francisco 49ers. I believe they're on the road, too, going to play at Lumen Field up in Seattle. Ooh. The Seahawks are 3-2. Where are you at with this one? Because the Seahawks every year do this. They come off hot. Everyone doesn't talk about them in the offseason. They win a bunch of games. 49ers, even if they start slow, they always catch up. But I don't know if it happens tonight.
I wanna pick the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks are going to be a tough team. They're going in the right direction. They're still just figuring some things out. The 49ers, I seen something the other day where they were talking about, is Shanahan on a hot seat? I don't think so. The man went to 3-4 conference championships, 2 Super Bowls. Like, no, not by any chance. They just haven't figured it out, exactly what McCaffrey not there. They're not as big as of a threat. It's they have the other pieces. They've been fine. They can win. The distraction with Ayuk early on, maybe that kind of wears off, and they get back to the 49ers that we have seen. But it's hard to play in Seattle. Seattle's not easy at all.
Yeah, Gino.
It's a fun venue to play at, a night game or one of those early games. So I mean, it's a pretty good environment. It's going to be electrifying. So they're a conference opponent. Those are never easy. Like I know they've been dominating the series as of lately, but I'm leaning towards Seattle.
I'm going Seattle on this one too. For that point that you just said, they've been the Seahawks have found a way to kind of just be that annoying team in that division, to find a way to get a big win. And the 49ers just haven't been clicking. I don't think the media conversation of Shanahan maybe on the hot seat is total BS in my opinion. 49ers would be maniacs to pull a move like that. I mean, you know all too well. He took your guy, Jimmy G, to a Super Bowl.
He wouldn't make it out the door before other teams scream, calling his phone, seeing, trying to get him. So
seriously, like he's made every running back on that team look amazing, even before McCaffrey. Like he knows how to get the run game going. He knows how to make a simple offense that is quarterback that even if he's a Cinderella pick, he can go in there comfortably and play. Like he has got that system just dialed up. Oddly enough, though, I'm still going with the Seahawks.
Yeah.
I just think, and again, Lumen Field is a tough place to play. I've never been there, but when you watch it on TV, it looks electric. And cosmetically, one of the best looking stadiums out there, too. I do love Seattle's home field. And you give Seattle a pro sports team, they love it. They love sports up in Seattle. It still blows my mind they don't have the Supersonics anymore, but they definitely love their Seahawks.
I've played in the stadium, I think 3 times. By far, I definitely think, top 5 stadiums, in the NFL. The atmosphere of stuff and whatnot, the Hawk's nest, the Hawk going off in the background, the lights when they coming out, the drum when they raising the 12, it's exciting. Like I said, they're a sneaky, dangerous team. Like, They got good things going. Like I said, they're still trying to figure out exactly, what their identity is and be more consistent. But that defense, for as whatever you want to say, that they're all gelling together and playing really, really well.
Yeah, and I think that defense is a big part of why they're 3-2 right now. I'm not saying Geno Smith, he's been good too, but that defense has been playing pretty phenomenal. All right, next game, highlight, you could argue, of the NFL. Up in London, we're not going there. Don't worry. I'm not going to talk about the Bears and Jaguars. That's probably a toilet bowl kind of game. Like the Bears got a winning record, but the Jaguars are the real conversation. Are the Jaguars okay to Pierson-El, or do they need to make drastic changes?
I wouldn't say necessarily drastic changes, but they got to get better quarterback play. I mean, it just comes down to that. They gave you the bag, $50 million, which debatable. Maybe it's you got to get things going. Y'all have been up in games. Y'all have choked in games. Y'all got to figure out exactly how to close. It's crazy of how good of a coach is down there in Doug. I like Doug. I think he's a player's coach. But they're in a weird situation, and I don't understand how they got there with Trevor Lawrence. I don't know if the injury thing or whatever, he still got to shake some rust off. But for whatever reason, it's just not catching. It's just not clicking.
It's weird to say that, like, under like Urban Meyer, he played some of his better football. Well, like,
I'm putting it on the injury. I'm putting it on it. That's what I'm putting it on.
Yeah, I think it's probably a massive role in it. It just sucks because it's like you paid that guy a bag. And I think even before, I think when he signed it before the season started, I think you and me were both kind of against this deal, not because we didn't think Trevor Lawrence could be that. It's like, let's just wait and see it. Because we see these quarterbacks all the time get hyped up, and then something new and shiny comes up, and it's like, well, I think I'd actually rather have Justin Fields than Russell Wilson. Like, stuff like that happens all the time, and
it's
good results. Sam Darnold with the Vikings, they're not paying him $50 million a year.
I think his level of play has gotten him at least in the ballpark range of what Josh Allen and Kyler Murray's deal is. You know, you don't got no MVPs. You got one win, one, conference title, no, AFC championship appearances, no Super Bowl appearances. It's just lackluster. Like, yeah, you look good. Yeah, your numbers are fine, but to be top dog, I didn't get that. I think he deserved to get paid. I just didn't think that was the amount that he had coming. But I mean, shout out to his agents. We've seen, Kirk Cousins get $300 or $200 million deals, and that's crazy. So I mean, I guess.
Yeah, this has been the MVP of the year in the NFL has been the agents for these QBs in particular, doing some absolute work. I mean, these guys are getting paid like crazy just to flame out, and maybe Trevor Lawrence isn't flamed out yet. Maybe that's not the right word, but it's been an ugly start, and I don't want to put it all on him because the offense, it just looks bad all the way around. Like, even Travis Etienne, who's one of the most reliable guys, like, hasn't had great production yet. Not bad, but not great either. Like, there's nothing about the Jaguars that have been like
appealing.
Watch out for that. Yeah, it's all just kind of okay. And when you're okay in the NFL, you rack up losses like crazy, and that's what they're doing. So I'm don't have to give your pick here. Obviously, I'm going to go Bears. All right, Buccaneers, Saints. This one's fun. I like this game a lot. I'm going to roll.
Bucks. I'm going Bucks. You got a rookie quarterback in there. You got Vita Vea, who's back healthy, who's been on a terror. You got a veteran defense that he's going to be going up against. I think that is just too much for the rookie to handle his first coming out party.
I forgot the backup was in there. Not as good as the game as I thought. I'm going to roll with you on that one. All right, we'll go on to we're not going to go through all these games because I do want to get to college football. We're already coming close to the end of this first break here. On the NFL slate, the other one this one I think will probably be the most watched game at
Lamar.
noon. You said Lamar?
Lamar.
Yeah. I think I'm going Baltimore Ravens here. Did the Commanders stand any sort of chance to pull this off? It's on the road. It's in Baltimore too.
I mean, there's a possibility, but I mean, a 300 looked like a Phantom until a Phantom actually pull up. So I mean, I know they got two Heismans. There's three Heismans all together. On the field or between the game. I just Baltimore's defense is starting to come alive. They're starting to gel. Lamar is what he is for a reason, and I think that might just be too much to kind of go back and forth with.
Yeah, and the Ravens were like one of the best passing defenses earlier in the year, and they've held on to that. The run game was towards the bottom, though. They could not stop the run, and as time's gone on, they're kind of flipping the script on that. They've gotten a lot better against the run. And knowing the Commanders and what they like to do, you look at that great game from Daniels, it started with the run.
Mm-hmm.
I think if the Ravens are able to shut that down, we don't see that fantastic performance on Daniels. He'll play good, but I don't think not going to beat the Ravens.
I don't think it'll be bad, but I don't think it's going to be what it was last week in Cincinnati. I don't think it's going to be that.
No, and that's not a game I want to talk about really, because the Giants I don't see it them. Even though the Bengals are reeling right now, I think they finally take care of a win here.
But the big people are getting on Joe, and honestly, I'm like this with the Bengals. I was having this conversation earlier today. If Joe Burrow is not on the field last, they lose. Period. They had Kansas City in the chokehold. What happened? Burrow was not on the field. Lost. You had Baltimore, on the fence and everything like that. You which is not his fault and whatnot. But Burrow's not on the field. Lost. So it's not Burrow's not the issue. The defense is getting some help with, and I mean, I'm not saying it's the entire whole defense, but put together some stops. That Cincinnati team has lost a lot of its identity on both sides of the ball. I don't think that team has honestly been the same since Jesse Bates left. And that's just, the real deal of things. So they're trying to figure out, things on that opposite side. But, I mean, they can't just stop the bleeding. So if Burrow has the ball last, I think they win. If he doesn't, we'll see.
I think the Giants stop the bleeding for him. I think that's the Band-Aid. Certainly worked for the Cowboys in all these years prior. I think they will do the same for the Bengals.
You say that. Didn't the Giants just beat the Seattle Seahawks last week in Seattle?
Continue. I was unaware. Good point.
I think they're playing. Are they playing in New York?
Yeah, it's in New York.
I mean, it'll be a physical game.
I just think this is the get right moment. Maybe I shouldn't be dissing New York this hard, and what I'm saying is, I have been a little too salty to New York. I just don't like the contract with QB, but nonetheless, they did get the win last week. All right, if you look at the Bengals though. It just really started off with that bad loss. They lost to that Patriots week 1, 16-10. And then things just kind of spiraled because it was fine. But then you just lose to the Kansas City Chiefs by 1 point. It's fine. You're okay. 0-2. Then you just lose to the Commanders, who are better than we originally thought. And then you get right against the Panthers. And then you lose to a field goal by a great Baltimore Ravens team. Like, they are in all these ball games against really good opponents. The only one that you scratch your head is the first week. Which makes sense. It's week 1. Guys are gelling, getting used to it. Seasons, getting the rust off. And the offense looked terrible in that game. But ever since then, they've been all right. They got a slate here. Giants, not to diss them. I think they win. Browns, Eagles, they're in a little bit of a spiral here. I don't know where Sirianni, what the relationship is with Sirianni right now in the Eagles organization, but that might be easier than you anticipated. And then you got the Raiders. So that's a nice little 4-game stretch there, depending if the Eagles get it figured out or not, where they can start to get back on track and not have this season be as abysmal as it has been. But then you're back to the Baltimore Ravens, and you got a chance for revenge. But, it's going to be fun to watch the Bengals. It's certainly not all on Joe Burrow. No. We've talked about it a lot. They miss Mixon. Yeah, they definitely miss a better running attack. So basically, they got to score through Joe Burrow's arm, and it just hasn't been happening for him. All right, next game I want to talk about. This one, you can tell me if I'm wrong. I think this is going to be the best game. You got Cowboys at home. They're bringing in the Detroit Lions. Who do you got?
Detroit. I mean, I think you potentially could see what Green Bay did to them last year again early on. This is a more physical, more aggressive, bigger bully type of team. This is bully ball. Detroit is going to come in there, open their door, open their refrigerator, make them a sandwich, and sit on their couch with their muddy boots. That's the type of game I think Detroit is going to bring. And they're coming off of a bye, if I'm not mistaken. That offensive coordinator has 2 weeks to really get a good look at you and really come up with something to throw a wrinkle or give you something that maybe you haven't seen. And the Cowboys just ain't the same without Dan Quinn on defense. I'll say it. They're not the same force. I get, they try and be America's team or whatnot, but it ain't the same.
I agree. I got the Detroit Lions too. They haven't been able to get CD going as much as they wanted to, but they're still able to be winning some games here. But even last week, I know it got super late. It was like 12:52 a.m. by the time the thing got over with the rain delays and everything. But
last week wasn't anything that the Cowboys did. That's just the horrible offensive system scheme that the Steelers are. If the Steelers are better or more efficient on offense, I don't think Dallas walks out of there with that win. So that's not more so something that the Cowboys did. That's more so of, I believe, of just the Steelers shooting themselves in the foot.
Well, the Justin Fields did have a almost game-winning drive at the end. Leaves just enough time on the clock for the Cowboys to have a game-winning drive. So I'm not going to say the Cowboys did nothing. They had to put a game-winning drive under, had them big third-down conversions. Not a Cowboys fan, but that was the Steelers are. I don't care what you say. That is a brutal defense. They found a way at the end there. If you can squeak out a game against the Steelers, that's how most teams beat the Steelers. They typically squeak it out. So I think they're going to be all right. I will say though, good reference by the way. Detroit's definitely going to go in there, make themselves a sandwich, muddy boots, put them on the couch. Dan Campbell and company, I think they take care of business. Don't feel good about those guys on offense being able to, keep up enough with how efficient the Detroit Lions. I know Detroit Lions run the ball a lot, but because of that, they're efficient.
The play action is crazy. The play action, I mean, that's exactly what you want if you're, a West Coast type of system. So, like I said, I mean, the Lions coming off of a well rested, and they showing up in a prime time. Yeah, good luck.
A well rested Gibbs and Montgomery. That is is that the best running back duo in the league this year?
Ooh,
obviously you take Derrick Henry over with the Ravens.
I don't know, because Baltimore's duo is something serious. If a healthy McCaffrey and with the 49ers, that's something serious. It's up there. I would say definitely top 3. Now the best.
You probably go Ravens.
I like Robinson and I like Eckler. That's a dynamic tandem. I mean, you can say the Saints because, I mean, do you qualify Taysom Hill as a running back?
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to be up there for me. You can throw them in there, sure. But I don't think
they don't use Taysom Hill like that, but, I mean, he still gets the job done.
Yeah, he does.
So I would say they're a top 3 tandem. I don't know about the best. That's something, to debate about, but they're definitely top 3. I don't think there might not be 2 other teams with, a better tandem. If they're not one, there might be 2.
Fair enough. I think what gets me about is the style of that tandem.
Yeah.
Because they're both like, we're going to run through your face. And when this guy gets tired, the other guy will run through your face. Like, they are 2 of the most physical backs in the league outside of a few. Again, you can name the Derrick Henrys out there, but they are just brutally physical backs. And when you give them a bye week, they're fresh, they're healthy, they're feeling good, hydrated, good night's rest. You don't want that. And I think Cowboys, not a bad defensive team, but they're really going to struggle. I think stopping the run game from Detroit, and you mentioned it, that play action is so good because of that result. And you got a great quarterback who fits that style perfectly. We talk about style and fit all the time. Lions are checking off all the boxes. So I like them in this match. Cowboys, I got more questions than I do the Lions. And it comes down to that for me. Give me the Detroit Lions. All right, with that being said, I don't got any other NFL games I really want to circle. Do you got anything else, DeMornay, before we get over to college football on the other side?
No, we can go to college football.
All right, let's do it. We'll talk some CFB Week 7 games. We'll give some picks, which ones to watch, upset alerts that we'll kind of tip you off on. So don't go anywhere. 2 more segments, Don't Punt Hour with DeMornay, Pierson-El, and Harrison Arns.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Hey guys, it's your girl Jordan from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Gentlemen, it's time to elevate your style with something from our men's jewelry and watch collection. Why not treat yourself to the ultimate in luxury? We've got an incredible selection of pre-owned Rolex watches, even those hard-to-find models you've been dreaming of. Whether you're stepping up your game day look or adding a touch of class to everyday wear, our top-tier collection is sure to impress. Stop by Sartor Heyman and discover the perfect piece to reflect your unique style. Until next time, happy shopping, guys.
NEBCO is hiring CDL drivers for ready mixed concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. NEBCO offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From NEBCO's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com. General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Travis with Midwest Bank, now with 2 branches conveniently serving Lincoln and 8 other locations across Nebraska. We're here to help you with any of your needs. From opening a checking account to buying a home or financing your business, our staff is here for you. Stop in and you might see Shin Daddy himself. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank, member FDIC.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop!
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Attention students and anyone else looking for a great deal. Sun Valley Lanes and Games has the ultimate weeknight special. For just $15.95, enjoy unlimited bowling, lucky putt mini golf, and laser tag. Flash your college ID at check-in to receive $2 off your admission. It's the perfect way to unwind Sunday through Thursday nights. Check out sunvalleylanes.com for hours and availability. Sun Valley Lanes and Games, located at 321 Victory Lane.
Lincoln's best place to meet, eat, and compete. Sun Valley.
Explain to me again why we're sleeping on the ground.
Because we're thramping, thrift camping. It's saving us money and getting us closer to nature.
But we don't need to thramp. I just combined our home and auto insurance with our State Farm agent, so we have a rate that fits our budget.
All right. Do you think our agent can bring us an air mattress?
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
Individual premiums and budgets will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
An hour ago, you didn't need a plumber. Now you're in a panic. When life throws you a surprise with a clogged drain, plugged or leaky toilet, broken pipe, leaky faucet or water heater, or a bathroom or kitchen plumbing upgrade, whatever. Just call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Keep that number handy, 467-1111. Or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to Oak Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
Welcome back in Don't Punt Hour. Former Husker special teams threat wide receiver DeMornay Pierson-El, as always, joins me through the stream. Harrison Arns on the 1s and 2s, getting you through ticket weeknights until, well, there's no game on Saturday. Just a bye week. But there is plenty of college football nonetheless on a great Week 7 slate. We kind of talked about these games, but we didn't really give our picks yet. And there are some games that we missed off on there. One game that I was surprised we didn't dive into a lot, and that one is Colorado versus Kansas State. Now, Colorado is 4-1. And they, outside of Nebraska, they actually have looked much better on the defensive side of the ball. I know they're not playing great opponents, but they don't look nearly as bad as I think I anticipated. I was super down on this team. I thought they were way too one-dimensional. I thought it'd be so easy to script. And then they've been all right. Like, I'll be honest. Kansas State, though, like, I don't know if they're going to have enough talent on the outside to keep up with Colorado. I think the way they lose this one, if it becomes a shootout, but I'm not going to get my pick yet. I want to hear yours first. Good morning, Pierson-El, Colorado. And I believe, is that one on it? Yeah, it's at Colorado as well. So Kansas State.
Oh, Colorado. That's that altitude? Yeah, no. I don't think so. I mean, you seen how things got with us in the second half. That is completely an advantage. You know, Deion's going to make things personal.
He's good at it.
You know, he's gonna have something to give, some outside noise, some type of motivation. Kansas State wins, I think, if they make it a physical game and just kind of make it a game to where you kind of make them quit. You can say one-dimensional, but if Kansas State takes its best shot and that shot does not affect Colorado, it's going to be a long day for Kansas State. It's going to be a long day.
Yeah, it's
You've already seen them play in close games. The first game of the season was a close game. You know, when we played them, they got beat, and everybody, you know, since then, UCF was a shootout that came down to it. Colorado State was not Colorado State. Baylor was a Hail Mary at the last second, and you see, you know, like, if they're in the game, you can't count them out. Like, they've shown and proven to you in multiple ways, you know. And I'm not a hater. I don't like Colorado, but I mean, I'm giving, you know, props where it is due. They have shown to show up when things get tough or when it matters, regardless if it is, you know, a close game. If it is, you know, that then backed into, well, something has happened on the offensive side and something has happened on the defensive side. And that's a very dangerous team. So if Kansas State shot does not affect them, they could be in for a long heap of trouble.
That's what I'm afraid of for Kansas State. The altitude is a big deal because we saw it live and in person. And if you've ever been up to Colorado, and Kansas is about as sea level as you can get. That is flat and low. You're dealing with plenty of oxygen in Kansas. Scarce up in Colorado. If Kansas State can turn into a physical game, they got a shot. I would have rolled with Kansas State, but I was listening to some media today, Kansas State media, because I was just curious about this game. I thought it'd be a good one to tune into. It caught me off guard too. I was listening to the media. They're talking about the only loss they have is versus a crappy Nebraska team. And I was like, don't make me root for Colorado in this thing. But it also kind of speaks, not that that's the whole point of it, just so we can get some Husker football in.
We got the same record. All of us has the same record. Y'all just in a weaker division.
Well, this is my point, Mornay. Nobody respects Nebraska yet. That's what I got out of that. Listening to that, like you're going to get people that cover college football, that pay attention to it closely. But your fairy weather people, they all still think Nebraska is a joke. So if you're Nebraska football during this bye week, you remember that. Nobody gives a damn about you yet. Like really, unless you're got a TV show, you're the media, you watch college football religiously, everybody still thinks you're a joke. So we can't be walking around thinking like we got it all solved now because we got Dylan Raiola and a good defense. Our special teams have been horrible, and our offense has stalled out a few times.
Majority.
But second half, stalled out just about every time outside of that. Majority. Like, and that's, I don't want to give my pick against Indiana yet, but as we get closer and closer to Indiana, that is the fear for me, is that we should be happy. All right, this has looked better than years past, but we still have some glaring issues. But if it's a close game, those glaring issues as to how we have consistently lost close games, and we almost lost another close game versus Rutgers, but the defense says, we got your back. Don't worry about it. If we don't have a defense that good, that's another loss. So, like, that's kind of where I wanted to tie that in there just to get a little bit of Husker football in there. But it did kind of shock me a little bit as I'm listening to some, people that do sports shows just for fun. There's not a lot of respect out there for Nebraska still. Like, if you're just a fan of your conference and your school, not part of the Big Ten at all, like, you don't look at Nebraska or fear them hardly at all. So something to keep in mind. If there's any Husker players listening out there, that's the narrative around you still. Despite everything, that's still how people talk about you for the most part. So I'm going to go with Colorado too. Not because of that whole spiel. That was a tangent there. But I do think that altitude's a big deal. I think skill player-wise, Kansas State is not going to be able to keep up. And I don't like their chances of letting it be a physical game. I just think that Colorado's going to be able to get up early. And if it's close at the end there, Kansas State's offense not good enough to where they can just quick go get 7. They got to kind of gut out these drives up the field. I think it'll be close, but I'm going to go with Colorado. And it might even be a boat race if Colorado gets up early, because that is not Kansas State style of game at all. All right, next game here. I want to save the best one for last, or arguably one of the best ones. You do got a great game, the Red River Shootout. I think I got your pick the other day. The question is, how big is this game? How big is the spread? Number 1, Texas versus, I believe it is 18 Oklahoma at Oklahoma.
That's tough because, like I said, I really haven't been paying attention to what Oklahoma has been scoring and doing. But Texas, I wouldn't be shocked if they average 40 or at least 35.
What do you think the spread is for this game?
I don't want to guess. I'm conflicted. I don't want to be too. I can't make my mind up on it.
It's Texas 14.5. They're calling for blowout. Like, that is, and I agree with them. I don't know if I see 14.5, but Texas makes me sick. By far, it's looked like the best team in all 3 phases of the game thus far. Now they haven't played at Georgia. They haven't played like the top tier opponents yet. Oklahoma will be a good test for them to see if they cover that 14.5 spread. Then you really circle Texas. I was like, okay, these guys are legit. They're just blowing the water out of anybody who comes across them. But I got Texas. You think they cover that 14.5? I mean, that's quite the spread.
I just because it's those 2 teams, like, I feel like it's going to be over that. Just because you like I said yesterday, like, I don't know, will we get a clash of SEC Titans or will we get a Big 12 shootout?
I think we're going to go back to the Big 12.
And honestly, I'm feeling, especially for this game, more so of a Big 12 shootout that's just happening in the SEC now. Texas has played phenomenal against other teams and whatnot, and looked not real Big 12-ish. I can't say the same for Oklahoma. Oklahoma still looks like, they're holding on to that identity. Texas is turned the page. They're firing on all cylinders. They look like Joe Burrow the year he won the Heisman, how they're just shredding any and everything. You want to run the ball? Great. You want our second quarterback to come in and show what he can do? Great. We got 2 wide receivers going? Great. It don't matter. So Texas is dialing it up. So I'm going to go over because I think this is a game that Texas will need to. I won't say need because they're people are going to be like, you've beaten them, like y'all been playing them for the last year. So what makes it any different? So, but this is the game. If you blow them out, you can kind of put a stamp as like this is a new reckoning coming type thing.
Yeah, and when I look at Oklahoma, it just every year it is the same Oklahoma team. Like every year, you go back to Baker Mayfield, great offense. Fantastic offense, shaky defense. And like it doesn't mean that they're not a good team. They've always been pretty good. Doesn't mean that they won't get a chance.
They're not an elite team. They're a good team. They're just not elite yet.
Exactly. And it's always the defensive side of the ball. Now, given I don't think even offensively they're as good as Texas.
No,
but that's why I'm going away with this game, and I think Texas they cover the spread. I think maybe the first half it's kind of close, but Texas to me has just been too good all year long. They need 30 points to win. They'll give you 40. Like they have just every single time, if they need it, they do that and then some. And the Oklahoma defense year after year after year is always subpar. Like they can't ever get that side of the ball to the same level of their offense. And that's why they're always ranked in the teens. Occasionally they get to the top 10. Then they have a tough loss against a true top 10 opponent. And then they're back to the teens. Like that is the Oklahoma Sooners cycle. Good team, not great. Give me Texas, cover the spread. I want to give you a sneaky one. This game I like a lot. And I don't like it for this reason. This reason is absolutely horrible. But you do got Wake Forest hosting Clemson. And with all the weather and all the horrible stuff, you see that stuff unite people in a way, and even sports where, I mean, you think of the Saints Super Bowl. That whole thing was kind of, I don't want to say the whole thing. That's terrible to say. But that was certainly sparked a sense of unity and camaraderie. And that stuff does matter. And it also just kind of creates an odd environment when you're the opposing team heading into that, because it's hard to be mad at a team like that and have that energy when they know they're going through all sorts of craziness on their own. You got number 10 Clemson at Wake Forest. This is the upset alert that I think I'm going to put on my radar. Give me your thoughts, DPE.
I mean, I'm still rolling with Clemson. Like it's Dabo. Dabo's been dominating the ACC since, I mean, Taj Boyd, Sammy Watkins, Nuke, CJ Spiller. I mean, the list can go. Deshaun Watson. It can go on. I just don't see it.
I mean, it's an upset for a reason.
Yeah, I believe in Dabo. I think he's gonna. He's a person that is gonna rally the troops, have the troops ready, and whatnot, regardless of the situations or stipulations and everything like that. He will try and keep it, not really emotional. Like, don't let your, feelings desert you, type, and get kind of play with, not really in mind or in one. Now, Wake Forest, you could have, the spirit of the city, spirit of the state type situation, maybe rallying the troops, but
don't have to play.
Will that last the whole game, or will that last just a quarter or two?
Yeah. And, this is, to me, I'm down if it's a trap game. You could say, but look at the spread. Like, we just saw Alabama lose to Vandy, right? Like, this stuff happens, and every week there is a team that is highly ranked that should not lose to the inferior opponent. And if I had to take a wild swing at it, I'm not going to go Alabama again because I think they're going to be pissed. I think they're hosting as well. I'd imagine DeBoer was on those guys like crazy. There's no way that defense doesn't show up. They might not be elite, but they're not going to be as poor as they were versus Vanderbilt because, listen to a lot of media and even some of the guys around here at the ticket that have played football and understand the X's and O's. They are just in disbelief at how bad they are on the execution of simple things on the Alabama defensive side of the ball.
And you've never seen that with Saban, which that's why I said, like, it's just crazy. And it's not like he's been gone for a year. He's been gone for a couple months.
Yeah, it's that part.
I don't even think it got to 90 days yet. You know what I mean? And just that fast look at, bad habits, look at, undisciplined. And it's not all the time, but I mean, it's just the little things to where, like
versus Vandy, it was all the time, DeMornay. I go back and watch that game. It was It's kind of if you go back and watch it, it
They
is
were-
bizarre because they have
they weren't worried about Vandy at all. They were definitely looking past Vandy. And that's the type of situation it was. And when you got frustrated and things aren't going or whatnot, I mean, it crumbles from within. It was out exterior things that brought it up on them. But I mean, the minimum mistakes that Vandy didn't do that. They just capitalized on what they all did. But like I said, I mean, Saban hasn't. I don't even think been gone 90 days, and that happens. Like, yeah, I know he was already scrutinized. And well, Saban didn't do that. Saban didn't do that. Saban didn't drink the water like that. Saban never picked from that water fountain. Saban never picked these bag of chips or change the snacks. Every little thing, is gonna be compared to what was done previously before. So it's just a bad situation.
Yeah, and that's always the cost. That's what Bronny's dealing with, trying to be in the NBA with LeBron. Like, even if he does good, even if he has like one bad game, it's going to be exemplified like crazy. Same thing with DeBoer. You have a bad game, a really bad game by losing to Vanderbilt. That's worst case scenario, because Roll Tide do not take losses very kindly, especially to Vanderbilt, especially when it's because you guys aren't executing and you're not communicating on defense. And it doesn't look like you even looked at the scouting report, or even it was just a bizarre game to watch. I really encourage everybody to just go look at the defense and their communication and the gap assignments and just contain. Like, nobody ever, it was a free for all on the defense. That's how they lost the game. They're going to be in a lot of shootouts if they don't fix that free for all kind of style.
I mean, just look at what happened with Georgia.
Yeah.
I mean, the offense got out hot. That game wasn't supposed to be like that. So, I mean, I feel like regardless whether the opponent was good, because, I mean, they did the same thing. And Georgia came back somehow. Typically games like that, you don't see Alabama lose control or, make games closer like that. I don't think I've ever seen a game where Saban was up by so much and it comes back to where, honestly, a Hail Mary or a fade ball, changes the outcome of the game.
Yeah. Milrow has had to do that way too many times already. That is tenure.
Wait till if that's Georgia and Alabama, well, I can't wait to see the Iron Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, this is
Do they play Ole Miss this year? I hope they do.
But let's find out here.
That would be a good game.
I think. Let's see. Let's figure out if they.
I think they're on the same side. They should. I think.
I don't know if they do. It looks like they played them last year, obviously, but I don't know if they have them this year.
That's terrible. That's bad. That's bad scheduling.
They don't have them. They avoid Ole Miss.
That's bad scheduling. But I mean, they're college football sweethearts, so you expect them to get treatment, especially when a blow like Nick Saban steps away from the program. So,
yeah, I mean, not fair, but it is what it is, right? Like, they definitely should. That's a game that everybody would love to go and watch.
Tell that to Michigan.
Yeah, we were on that rant the other day. There's some unfairness going around in college football. The asterisk on Michigan was the conversation of yesterday, which they should put on there. All right, we got 2 more minutes here. I want to give you the sneaky Big Ten game of the week. This one, I think if you like defense, if you like Big Ten football, you're going to love it. You got Wisconsin at Rutgers. I like this game a lot. I think it might be ugly, but it might be so ugly it's kind of fun to watch. That Rutgers defense is legit. I don't care what you say. That front seven in particular, they're good. They're going to give teams a lot of problems all year long. Is their offense good enough to win a lot of games? I don't know, but the defense is certainly good. Kind of similar to Wisconsin, where the defense, not as good as Rutgers, but solid enough. And the offense, you got a ton of question marks. Kind of two teams going at it, but Rutgers host.
That is
that's the most even match I've found.
That is a ugly game.
Really ugly.
Like I'm just like that. That might be worse than Iowa and Northwestern type of game, or Iowa Minnesota.
No. That's crazy. That's crazy. Iowa is always the hardest to watch.
That's what I'm saying. It's on that level. I don't think it's going to be exciting at all. We got a washed up Badger that don't technically know whether it's out of school or on its ninth year of eligibility. He confused.
So you got what? The Badgers versus the new era Rutgers. Like that's
so that's a good one.
Rutgers is favored 2.5, and I'm going to go with Rutgers.
I think the Purdue Illinois game. I think I know Purdue is 1-4, but it's an afternoon game. I thought it would be a night game. I still think that would be an interesting game.
I have to tell you.
I feel like that might be a little bit more exciting from at least an offensive standpoint, maybe.
I'm going to remember that. I'm going to text you in the fourth quarter when it's a blowout and say, what a thriller. So be ready for that. And I probably won't be watching it. I'll just be seeing the score come across. Hopefully it's fun. I do like to see chaos in college football. And to be fair, that is why college football is the best, because there is way more chaos than you'll see in the pro leagues. USC, Penn State.
I want that game to be good, but I just don't think I think it'll be over before you know it. I think Penn State they're a mountain lion. They're stalking. You don't hear them. You don't see them. But once they're on their attack, oh, good luck. I don't think the Fighting Trojans has a standing chance at all.
No, I don't think they're going to be doing too hot. This is for me what I'm looking at. When I look at Penn State and their way they've been dominating all year long, and then I go look at USC. USC just lost to Minnesota. Penn State, as I've been saying kind of all day, has been my point, is a roided up Minnesota. Like, Penn State is not too far different, except they could throw the ball a lot better, but they still prefer to run and dominate the line of scrimmage, and they do that even better, at a significant margin better than Minnesota. Give me the Nittany Lions, because USC, they barely, they went to that Michigan game, couldn't do it. Minnesota couldn't do it. Penn State, why would you expect anything else? They cannot. They struggle against those teams so much. I got Penn State. I got them covering the spread. Surprised it's only 3.5, but it is at USC. I think those are the best games I got. Good morning, Pierson-El. You got any more that you want to sneak in here?
I'm looking to see like who exactly is playing this week.
I thought Miami might have had a good one. Maybe not. Oh, how could I forget? The big one that we definitely need to talk about. Ohio State. You got 2 and 3. Oregon. It's at Oregon.
That's going to be a slaughter. Like that. I don't. They got the cattle in between the defenses, walking them into the slaughterhouse. It's good night ducks. Like I don't think it will be close at all.
Yeah, I agree. I have been surprised and blown away how many people like Oregon in this matchup. I don't think Dylan Gabriel is the best player out there.
I think, when you got your glasses and the condensation kind of fogs them up and you kind of see it a little, it's a little foggy. They may be looking at Oregon like that and like, oh, it looks good. Like, I can see somewhat of what you're doing or the direction you're going. Go ahead and wipe those glasses off and open your eyes. I don't think it'll be a good look this weekend.
That's a good point, right? Because you look at the numbers and you're like, the numbers, though. Look at Dylan Gabriel. He's the Heisman. Look at these numbers. And you're like, go watch the tape.
You struggled against Idaho. You struggled against Boise, which, I mean, they're not Boise. You can consider them the same thing as NDSU.
They struggled against Genty is the real thing there. They can't stop the run very well. And Ohio State, they can air it out, but their line of scrimmage, I think, is going to bully Oregon. And I don't think Dylan Gabriel is good enough to throw. I mean, he's going to be fine. He's not going to throw 3 picks that day. He might not even throw 2. He might not even throw 1. But I just don't think he's going to be efficient enough to keep up with Ohio State, because that defense is legit, offense is legit. Ohio State, in my opinion, rightfully at number 2. I think a Texas-Ohio State game would be the true identifier about who's that this year. But
that Wisconsin-Rutgers game, that might really be, a good, Thanksgiving backyard brawl type of game. I'm now that I'm looking at it, I'm like that won't be.
It'll be physical. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
I'm liking that one. And the last one I did forget about Ole Miss, LSU. Number 9 Ole Miss at LSU though.
I got Ole Miss smacking them. I think Kirby's not Kirby. Lane is going to go in there and paint the town red. I don't. They're running rebels. They're going to do something. Land sharks, whatever you want to call them. I just don't like LSU with Brian Kelly. I just don't. I can't get behind it.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree. I'm going to go LSU here. Ole Miss has been slightly disappointing for me. I hope I'm wrong because I actually do like rooting for Lane Kiffin, but that's going to do it for us. Good morning, Pierson-El. Appreciate the time as always.
Appreciate you.
We'll do it again on Monday, and we'll keep talking Indiana versus Huskers football. We'll talk to you guys again next week.